everyone, we're now in Foshan's Lingnan Tiandi. This beautiful district is the ultimate gateway to the region's legendary food scene, Shunde cuisine. And in 2014, Shunde was named a UNESCO City of Gastronomy, only the second Chinese city to earn the honor right after Chengdu.
There's even a famous Cantonese saying, 食在廣州，煮在鳳城. Eating is in Guangzhou, but the master chefs are all in Fengcheng, the old name for Shunde. That's how legendary this place is.
During the Qing dynasty, Shunde chefs were so prized that many wealthy merchants and politicians across China competed to hire them. And having a Shunde chef in your private kitchen was the ultimate status symbol, which was the 19th century equivalent of owning a super yacht.
Today, Shunde still trains many of the chefs who define Cantonese cuisine worldwide. Top restaurants in Hong Kong, Macau, and overseas Chinatowns often trace their culinary roots right back here.
Just a short walk from Foshan Ancestral Temple. About 10 minutes, you'll get to Lingnan Tiandi. It's built at Donghua Lane, one of the best preserved historic streets in Guangdong. And today, the old houses and lanes are filled with galleries, cafes, and restaurants. So you get history and modern life side by side.
Look up at the rooftops. Those curved structures are actually a classic Lingnan design called walkie walls. Back in the day, you actually needed imperial permission to build this. They were a total wealth symbol, but also acted as wind tunnels, channeling summer breezes into alleys while stopping fires from spreading. See?
You'll also notice carved doors, stone arches, and lattice windows. And if you look closely enough at the brickwork, you'll find the blue bricks baked in special airtight kiln, making them tough enough to withstand humidity and typhoon. And some families even reuse these across generations, treating them like heirlooms.
Lingnan Tiandi is also a showcase of adaptive reuse. Many of the old clan houses have been converted into restaurants. You can literally eat Shunde food inside a 200-year-old building. It's a living example of how history and great food come together.
First up is Chencun Noodles, named after Chencun town in Shunde. Unlike wheat noodles, these are made from a rice mixture poured onto bamboo steamers. The secret is spreading it so thin that you can read a newspaper through the noodle sheet before brushing it with a hint of local peanut oil. Despite being so delicate, they remain chewy when stir-fried or served in soup.
These noodles are versatile, stir-fried with pork ribs, served in clear broth, or rolled into dim sum. Their thinness makes them ideal for absorbing sauces without becoming soggy. Historically, noodle makers in Chencun were so skilled that their products were exported all across southern China.
Another famous dish is the Claypot Rice. Traditionally cooked over charcoal stoves, the steady heat helps form the fanjiao at the bottom. True experts listen to the crackle of the oil to know when it's ready. Locals judge a restaurant by whether the crust lifts off perfectly, crunchy but never burnt. Chefs often add cured meats like lachang, which is Chinese sausage, salted fish, or preserved duck leg. As the rice cooks, rich oils seep down, infusing smoky, savory flavors.
Families often scrap the crust together at the end of the meal, and kids love it so much, so parents needed to invent games to decide who got the last bite. Restaurants in Shunde also compete fiercely on their crust quality. Some even advertise their Claypot Rice by showing off how cleanly the crust separates from the pot. Summer in Foshan is unbearable, and that's all we need.
Don't miss Shunde's roast pigeon. It's roasted until the skin is crisp and golden, but the meat stays tender and juicy. Lychee wood is preferred for the fire because it burns evenly and gives a subtle sweetness. The real trick is the temperature shock. Chefs pour boiling malted syrup water over the raw skin, flash dyeing it before roasting to turn the skin into brittle glass.
Pigeons are leaner than chicken with high protein, which made it popular in traditional banquets. It's also considered a delicacy because pigeons are smaller and harder to raise in large numbers. And please remember to try the Shunde fish cake. It's made from fresh river fish, hand minced, and whipped it until naturally bouncy.
Shunde is also famous for its milk desserts. Thanks to a long history of water buffalo farming in the local wetlands, the division uses milk that's far richer and creamier than standard cow's milk, giving rise to some of its most iconic sweets.
One of the most celebrated is double skim milk, made with buffalo milk, which has nearly double the fat of cow's milk. The pudding is extra creamy. The high fat and protein content is the only reason why the first skim formed when cooled, and the second forms when it's steamed with egg whites.
The chef pours the milk and places a spoon on top. If the spoon doesn't sink, it's perfect. Legend says it was invented by accident in the 1850s, when a farmer poured boiled milk back and forth, creating two delicate skins.
Right beside it is ginger milk curd, just fresh milk and ginger juice, but the chemistry sets it into a silky custard with zero gelatin. It relies entirely on a natural enzyme in aged ginger. The chef pours the milk from high up so the violent collision forces the reaction to happen instantly, locking milk proteins into a perfect grid within 20 seconds at exactly 70 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. Locals believe the milk desserts are not just food but also medicine. Buffalo milk is thought to strengthen the body. Ginger milk is considered a natural remedy for colds. Here, desserts is wellness in a bowl.
UNESCO recognized Shunde partly because of this diversity. There are over 300 documented dishes, many of them unique to this region. It's not just about taste, it's about how food reflects farming, history, and community. Foshan shows this culture isn't just kept in the museum, it's alive in the food, on streets, and on the people who carry them forward.
So, when you are in the Greater Bay Area, don't just pass through Foshan. Stop, taste, and experience the Shunde cuisine for yourself. It's a tradition you can enjoy, and it's a luxury you can eat. Every dish here carries centuries of history, but also the joy of discovery. Thank you, and see you next time.